Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
I know the heat is very much. The heat is serious today. It's not joking at all. Even fan is not helpful. But that will not stop us from the battle we want to fight tonight. Because we have a serious battle in our hand today. We are going to address one of the commonest and one of the most serious kind of witchcraft attacks on people. A lot of people are going about carrying this attack and they don't know. Maybe once in a while when they pray some kind of prayer, they will see some dream, and the dream will be so complex that they will not even understand it. And I believe, God, that this prayer was sent to us for a purpose. So it's going to be a mixture of deliverance. It's going to be a mixture of warfare. It's going to be a mixture of so many things. Because I'm talking to you on what I call reversing the wicked foundational exchange. What does that mean? It means that there are some exchanges they've done against us from the foundation that are still affecting us till now. Exchanges, that is, take what belongs to you, give it to another person, take what is not your own, mostly which is inferior and fake, and hand it over to another person. This type of exchange is very, very common in witchcraft circles. If you read Revelation chapter 18 on your own, you will see there where the Bible talk about the kind of businesses they do. And it now say they trade in slaves, they trade in the soul of men. How do you trade in the soul of men? So which means it's possible to take somebody's soul while the person is still alive and sell it to somebody else. Exchange it, give it to another person. And the real owner of the soul will be going up and down, whereas another person is using the soul. It's possible, brethren, to that the one of stars. That one is very simple and easy. Even witchcraft apprentices, they can do that one. To strip people of stars, to remove virtues from people, and then sell it off, hand it over to another person. And you see that person will be going up and down with no star left, no virtue left, and another person is using their own. These are exchanges that happen to a lot of people, and many people are going up and down, not knowing that the most important thing in their lives have been exchanged, have been removed, not knowing that what they are carrying up and down is not their own. Do you know that there are people that are going up and down with another person's head, the head that is not their own? I was sharing with you some time ago about this testimony a pastor was sharing with us. And the pastor said that one of his members had a baby, and they were doing the naming ceremony and all this christening, but he couldn't go. So he sent another pastor under him to go and do it because he was busy in a program. So after the whole event, he now went in the evening to go and greet the family and pray with them. So when he got there, they gave him the baby, and he held the baby and closed his eyes and started to pray. He said the moment he started to pray, he just noticed that something was flying into the baby's head. Flying into the baby's head. So he kept quiet and was watching that thing. And the thing was glittering and shining. So the thing will fly and enter the baby's head. So he was asking in the spirit, what could this be? What is going on here? And the Spirit of God told him that during the day, the people that came for the naming ceremony, that handled that baby, they removed all the stuff from the head of that baby. They removed the glory, the destiny of that baby. That's what the prayer is retrieving now. That's what the prayer is collecting back and bringing back to the head of that baby. I believe, God, that the prayer we are going to pray here today, doesn't matter for how long, it's going to go to the foundations, go to every kingdom and cove and powers, and retrieve everything they've taken from you. Amen. And that's why you see When you have a newborn baby, or even before the baby is born, there are prayers you start to pray already. The first 8 days of the birth of that baby, there are prayers you have to start to pray immediately. In my book, The Deliverance of the Destiny, or is it Foundation? The Deliverance of Foundation? No, Deliverance of Destiny. Yes, I put that prayer there. The prayer is on that book. So that the essence of it is to fortify everything the baby came with from heaven, to seal it so that it cannot be removed. Because these exchanges, they happen so easily. They happen very simply. And that person will just go through life suffering unnecessarily. The most painful part is where they hand over the fake ones to that person. They remove the original and put the fake one, the counterfeit, on that person. Just see yourself struggling, going up and down in hardship in life, not knowing that it's another person's suffering you are carrying. These are wicked exchanges they do in the foundation. Let me show you from the scripture. Genesis 27. Look at verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and so that he could not see, all these things happen because our eyes are dim, isn't it? Our parents' eyes are dim. And sometimes it's even the parents themselves that do it. Sometimes even the members of the family themselves that do it. Because of dim eyes. Because if your eyes are not dim spiritually, if somebody wants to collect anything from you, wouldn't you fight? You will resist. But because of the dimness of the eyes, you can't see, you can't know, you can't understand. They just do it and go away. Look at what happened. His eyes were dim, so that he could not see. He called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. I am old, and know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. Make me several meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and that my soul may bless thee before I die. Do you see that? So he wanted to hand over some blessings, generational blessings, ancestral blessings. He wanted to hand it over to Esau. He wanted to transfer it to Esau because it was his right, his birthright. Verse 5. And Rebekah had them. That's where the trouble comes in. People that see you when they are not supposed to see you. People that see what they are not supposed to see in your life. They saw some shiny glory that their eyes shouldn't have seen. They heard some good things about you that they shouldn't have ever heard. That's where the trouble begins. Assuming all these things happen and Rebekah did not hear anything, Esau's destiny would have remained intact. The message got into the wrong ear. When Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob, her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison and make me several meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them several meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver. So they know what they are doing. They know it's deception. And I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. Do you see it, brethren? That even the enemies that do this thing, they know that it's a curse they are bringing upon themselves. But do you know they will still go ahead and do it? Even when they are fully aware that such wicked exchange is not right. Such wicked exchange, they shouldn't do it, that it brings curses. It attracts curses, they will still do it. Verse 13. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me then. There are some enemies, there's nothing you can use to convince them to not attack you. There's nothing you can do. If they have set their heart to attack you, they will surely attack you. This is a mother to son. That's why I was telling you, anybody can do the exchange. And this is happening right in the foundation, in the family. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob for her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou hast badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. You see how the extent they go, they conceal, they hide, they camouflage, they do everything to be able to achieve their wicked intentions. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hand Esau. Do you see now? And this is how they are going to begin to go from today. The voice will be another person's voice, the head another person's head, the another person's hand. Do you know how many people on earth going up and down with another person's head, another person's hand? They remove the hand that God anointed from heaven to handle wealth, to handle blessing. They collect those hands and put fake hands there and put goat hands that cannot hold anything. You can see how the father discerned this immediately. He said, there is a confusion here. The hand and the neck and the leg, everything don't match here. What's going on? Because of what? Somebody has exchanged things. Somebody has manipulated things. And their mother is the architect behind all these things. Verse 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hand. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, Yes, it's me. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of thy venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment. Listen carefully to me, brethren. Listen carefully. Human beings on earth, we are so many on earth. How many billion? There are distinct things that God has put inside everybody for the angels of God to recognize you. So that when they send an angel to you, they will tell the angel, this is what you should look out for. This is what you should look out for. The person has this mark, has this smell, has this one, has this thing. So when the angel comes, that's what they are looking out for. And when they locate somebody having exactly that thing given to them, they will hand over the blessing to that person. If they have exchanged your original smell from heaven and put another person's perfume on you, if they have exchanged your original look and exchanged so many things, you now discover that every time you cry and pray, the angel will come and deliver it to the person carrying your head or carrying that original thing. You can see Isaac here. Isaac had blessing he wants to deliver. Even though they were his children, he has lived with them all his life. But he couldn't discern who is who. Now he's going to dump all the blessings upon the wrong person. Why? Because of evil exchange. Because of wicked manipulation. He's going to hand over the blessing of another person now to another person. And this is what a lot of people are suffering. You see so many Christians that are good. Very, very good Christians. Prayerful Christians. Righteous Christians. Living holy life. Pleasing God. But because they are under this kind of attack, and they cry and heaven releases things, and the angel brings those things down, it is not them they always deliver it to, they deliver it to another person. Where you are going to know this is this: if you begin to see dreams whereby you suddenly go to another house and you see a lot of letter belonging to you there, or your letter is going to wrong address in the dream, when you begin to see that kind of dream, then you know there's an evil exchange, that the angel of God is not locating you. There's something they have manipulated in the spiritual, making the angel to deliver your blessing to another person. Sometimes it's exchange of name. Somebody else from nowhere will just go and change their name and begin to bear your name. Then they will take your face and exchange it and begin to wear your face and you wearing their face. These are spiritual complications, and they do it for a purpose, to make life harder for the children of God. Now look at what follows. So you can see the confusion of Isaac here in verse 27. He said, come near and kiss me. And he smelled his raiment, blessed him and said, the smell of my sins and the smell. So he was not depending on smell, depending on touch. Touch is confusing. It's not the voice is something else, the smell is something else. So everything is so mixed up. And in that confusion, blessed brethren, verse 20, therefore God give you the due. He started to load all the blessing upon the wrong person. He started to hand over the blessing that's not meant for that person to that person. That's serious exchange. Serious exchange. Assuming Esau has been fasting and praying and crying unto God, Lord, do this for me. And each time they send all those blessings, they end up in another person's hand. He said, and the fatness of the earth and the plenty of corn and wine, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and he that blessed thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto all this while he has been laboring, going into bush, looking for meat, coming back, boiling it, cooking it, trying to put everything inside it, and trying to make it exactly to please his father. All those things now are in vain. That's the implication of what we are talking about here today. You will see a Christian trying to please God. You see a child of God doing everything to live righteous, to please God, to do everything God wants. But because there is a wicked exchange in place, all those things will just become useless. Now, all the whole running up and down that Esau has made, Isaac has no appetite anymore. He has filled up himself. Doesn't need any extra food. So he has made also several and brought to and said to him, let my father arise and eat of his sons when he sees that he has so many blessed with verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and have eaten of all before you camest, and have blessed him here, and he shall be blessed? And that's the unfortunate part of what we are talking about. Do you see what Isaac said? I have handed over the blessing to him, and there's no going back. That's the problem. The moment an angel of God comes, hand over the blessing to the wrong person, that's the end. No going back. No going back. Nothing like, well, go and collect it, go back, go and collect it. It doesn't work that way. He said, I've blessed him, and that's it. He's blessed. You can't reverse it. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried. That's what we are specialists in doing. Crying. We cry with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with what? With subtlety, with craftiness. Your brother came with deception. Your brother came with manipulation. Your brother came for an exchange. He came with subtlety and has exchanged your blessing. See, has exchanged the blessing. He has taken away that blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. So it's not the first time he's doing it. Enemies that have exchanged things, they will keep repeating what they are doing. You pray for a major breakthrough, God shows you clearly in the dream, I've released your blessing. Your blessing is on the way. And then you are expecting it and expecting it and expecting it to come, and it didn't arrive. Not knowing that it's because of the exchange that they handed over to another person. And then you pray for another one again, another breakthrough. The Lord shows you clearly. You even jump up from there. The dream looked like real life. Not knowing that again, the enemy has hijacked it. And this can be so frustrating. That's what we always resort back to. Looking for remnants. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. In case you did not understand the seriousness of what we are talking here tonight, know this. When the enemies make this kind of exchange, the person that is holding what belongs to you, they've made that person your Lord. Yes. Because that thing they took from you, that thing they removed from you, is what will have made you to be their Lord. They deliberately targeted you and removed that thing because of the importance of that thing. Because of the value, the heavy value of that thing they removed. That's why they removed it. And anybody holding that thing they removed becomes the Lord. He said, I've made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servant. Do you see the exchange here? Jacob was supposed to be the servant of Esau. And now Esau has become the servant because of foundational exchange. Because of the exchange that happened in his father's house by the conspiracy of his mother. And this is going to be forever and ever. It's going to affect him, affect his children, affect his children's children. His children forever and ever will always be servants because of just one exchange. I'm letting you to understand this so that when we go into prayer, you know how you are going to fight. You know how you are going to undo things. The father just told him, say, you are now a servant from today. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. He doesn't need you for anything. He has enough thing for his life. He has corn, he has wine, he has all the blessing associated with it. And what shall I do now to be my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou got one blessing? My father, bless me for me also. He doesn't understand anything, no clue. The father is saying something else and he himself is saying something else. Is it what he should be talking? One blessing. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. He said you have to become a wild man from today. If you are going to survive this, if you are going to undo what has happened here today, go and get yourself a sword and shall serve and continue to serve. Because that serving, you can't stop it. Start your service early. And as you continue to serve, it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. Do you see the secret? You need now to get, how do you get dominion? You fight for it. You develop yourself. You contend. He said, when you get the dominion, then you'll be able to break off his yoke from off your neck. Do you know that first? No, that but by that exchange, immediately, spiritually, there was a yoke that came upon his neck. Do you know how many yokes all of us are carrying up and down? Because of wicked exchange that they have done to us. Yoke that we shouldn't ever have carried in life. He said the only way to get rid of that yoke is violence. Go and get a sword. Fight for your life. That's the only option you have now left. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed. That's not enough. It's not enough. You know, some of us thank God for this church. That since we started hearing some messages, God has opened our eyes, God has shown us some of our enemies, but we don't yet know the detail of what they did. We don't yet know what and what they even exchanged. And I thought maybe we just have some hatred for them, hatred that did not reach the soul, not to talk of the spirit. And Esau said in his heart, the day of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay, must he wait? Must he wait for the day of his father's death? The father that told him go and look for Saul didn't he know what he was saying. And this word of Esau, her eldest son, were told. You see, he entered the ears of him. The words that shouldn't enter to the ears of our enemies. Why is it that every important destiny affecting word that concerns Esau will always enter the ears of Rebekah? Every word that will change destiny, that will alter destiny forever, Rebekah must hear it. This is another thing. When your enemies are always hearing information about you, they have up-to-date information. They know what is happening in your life. And immediately, trust the woman. She swung into action. She's full of conspiracy, full of plots. She plotted again and sent Jacob away. And that was it. All the exchange became sealed up. You know, sometimes they might package your own and send you away too. They finish your own exchange and send you to London. And that's it. Paul stayed there for 21 years in Haran. By the time he was coming back, he didn't even go back home. He went to a different place to live. And so the exchange stood. No means again to alter it. No way again to fight the battle. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Look at verse 5. Ecclesiastes 10 verse 5. There is an evil. What we are talking about here today, brother, is an evil. Very terrible evil thing. He said there is an evil which I have seen under the sun. There is an error which proceeded from the ruler, people that have the authority to rule over you. He says it's an evil and it's coming from them. Look at it in verse 6. He said folly is set in great dignity. That is, they take a foolish person, someone that should be a vagabond, They take that foolish person and exalt the person, strip the good person, collect all the virtues from the life of the good person, put it on a foolish man or a foolish woman. He said, folly is greatly dignified, and the rich sit in lonely places. Somebody that is created rich from heaven, somebody that the day you were born, even people that had spiritual eyes, they were saying some good things about you. Now they reduce the person to sit in lonely places. To sit in lonely places. Verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses, and then princes walking as servants upon the earth. Who did this kind of exchange? Who did this kind of wicked exchange? That brought the prince down to be walking on foot and raised the servant up to be riding on horse. This is what we are talking about here today. And except that prince will come to his senses and trace the root of where this thing happened to him and fight it out, he will walk on foot for the rest of his life. And a slave will be riding his horse. Genesis 48, look at verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at last in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. And said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and I will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. And thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. Verse 7. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephrath, and I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, the same is Bethlehem. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons, and said, who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, they are my sons, whom God has given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim again for age. Dim eyes, dim eyes. And we are going to pray here today that God will open our eyes. Most of our problems originate from dim eyes. He said the eyes were dim so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. That's what you do with children, isn't it? In those days when they take you to your granny and take you to all those relatives, to this auntie, to the other person, when they take you there as a little baby, what do? They embrace you, isn't it? They hold you and they kiss you, and you think they love you, isn't it? I want you to take note of what Jacob did with the children here. He first of all kissed them, embraced them. Why? To make them relax, so that he will carry out the operation he wants to do. Kiss them, embrace them. Verse 11. And Israel said to them, I had not thought to see that. Then they go into flattery, glowing words. Wow, this one looks so beautiful. This one looks like the mother. This one looks as the nose of his father. And they begin to praise you. Yourself will just begin to shine your eye there like this. And as they are praising you, they are working on you. Look at what he's doing. And God has shown me also that he could see it. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hand waitingly, carefully. They know what they are doing. So all those times you will go, and they will carry hand and put on your head, and be rubbing your head, and you yourself, what do you know? Dim eyes. They will rub your head and rub your head and rub your head. Hey, see how you have grown. Hey, you are so good. This and that. And they will be rubbing your head continually. You don't know what they are rubbing there. You didn't see. What you didn't see is the ring in their hand. The sorcery ring. that they are using to rob your destiny, and what they are collecting from that head. For Manasseh was the firstborn, verse 15, and he blessed Joseph and said, God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life on long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lands, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of the younger one, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head and put it on Manasseh's head, because the man changed the hand this way. And Joseph said, what kind of arrangement is this? What kind of exchange is this? This is the firstborn. You should put right hand on the head of the firstborn. Put the left hand on the head of the secondborn. That's how it should be. But you exchange things here. And Joseph wanted to correct it. And he said, held up his father's hand to remove it from verse 8. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know what I'm doing. I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly, his younger brother shall be greater than he, because he's already an expert in exchange. He's an expert in exchange. That's how he himself grew up. How to alter people's destiny. How to hand over blessing to the younger one and leave the senior one languishing. He said, I know what I'm doing. I'm just doing some little programming here. I'm programming exchange. I'm handing over the glory of the elder one to the younger one. That's all I'm doing here. Let me finish it. And you know, brethren, the danger of what we are talking about here today is this. The moment they do that thing and you walk away, that's the end. It's sealed. It's sealed. Except you come across this kind of prayers. Except you fight as Isaac counseled. Except you are able to fight God. Do you know from there, the little children will not even know what is going on, sir. The little children will not know anything. Maybe after doing all those things, after reprogramming them, after exchanging their glory and their destiny and their future and their children forever and ever, after doing that, they give them sweet. This type of sweet, they put stick inside like this. Maybe that they give you one. You put it in the mouth and you'll be jumping up. You'll be so happy. Not knowing that they have destroyed that life. They've destroyed that destiny. He said, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. He said, his seed shall become unto your nation. He blessed them, verse 20, and he blessed them that day, saying, in this shall Israel bless, saying, God made thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh, and he sent Ephraim before Manasseh. That is it. That few minutes encounter, the few minutes encounter. Do you know the life of Ephraim and Manasseh were standing straight before they came to visit Grandpa, before they came for this visit? Those few minutes visit altered their destiny forever. Changed everything. Exchanged everything. The elder one was doing fine all his life since he was born. He was doing fine until they brought him to meet with the grandfather. That's where his life turned upside down. That's where he was demoted. Eternal demotion. Forever. Demotion that will flow into his children. All of them demoted together. Brethren, let's close our eyes. I'm going to fight here today. People that demoted you and demoted your children along. I'm going to begin to cry unto the Lord and say, I come unto you today, Lord, and I bring this burden unto you. Holy Father, I bring this heavy burden unto you, Lord. Where I have been foolish, forgive me my foolishness. Where I have not controlled my appetite, like Esau, Lord, please forgive me. Have mercy upon me. Where I played into the hands of my enemies, and they stripped me, and they exchanged every good thing in my life. Father, I am guilty and I'm so sorry, Lord. But then I don't think you understand what we are talking about. I don't think you understand. Sometimes we ourselves, we play the role. We support it. We help the enemies to achieve it. There was this police officer. He became a very top-ranking police officer, very high-ranking police officer. But what happened? He didn't go to primary school. He didn't go to school. But somebody in his village went to secondary in the 70s, went to secondary school then, and when they were doing recruitment for police, that one said, you know, when you finish from secondary school, the job you could always do is to go and do primary school teacher. That's the only job you can get. He said, what am I doing with the certificate? I'm not going anywhere with it. Take it. He gave him the certificate. That man went, used the certificate, joined the police, became a top ranking, and that one languished in the village till he died. He was bearing that man's name all his life in the police. Got promotion, got elevated, got very high. You see how people sell out things themselves, how they give out things themselves. The real owner of the name was not known. It's another person that now became the owner of that name. He is the one that has changed it with his own hand. Who knows what you have done by yourself? You are going to cry out and say, my blindness.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.